Welcome to this edition of Hanging with These Nuts. Today's episode we have Dan Gates. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
We did like skinny time.
We have 5 questions for Mr. Gates.
It was just
Some serious questions and some off the chain. So, first question.
yeah.
Who are your biggest influence musically?
Well, I started off listening to 80s thrash metal. That's pretty much how I got started. And then into the 90s, I started getting more into the death metal scene. And I don't have a lot of artists that I would say specific artists that influence me. It's more of just the broad spectrum of what I listen to, mostly death metal. So a lot of different bands. But when I was first starting out playing in death metal bands, it was Suffocation, Cannibal Corpse, all the usuals, Morbid Angel, Eternal Bleeding, Pyrexia, bands like that. So yeah, that's how I kind of got started.
Awesome. Second question. How did these musical influences inspire you on the new upcoming Dead Earth album?
Well, being that I haven't contributed yet, it will inspire me to play some heavy-ass fucking bass grooves.
Fuck yeah.
No, I'll just put everything I have into it and do the best I can and lay down those bass lines.
Awesome. Name the previous bands you were in and any funny tour stories that you might have.
Our first real band was a band called Ton. We started in 1993 and we disbanded in like early 2001, and then later on we picked it up again in like 2013 or 14 and just disbanded again a couple years ago. But we'd released like 4 demos, 3 full-length albums, and during the 90s we just were weekend warriors. We'd drive all over the country playing shows. Somebody'd call us. Like one time we drove 20 hours to Texas, played the show, spent the night, and drove back the next day. I mean, we would do stupid shit like that just because we were just excited to get out and play. And then we did the same thing once with Rhode Island, and just driving ridiculous lengths just for like a single show sometimes. But what was the second half of that question?
40 tour stories?
Oh, maybe you had to be there, but there was this time we played in New York City. We played at a place called Castle Heights. And I can't remember if it was I can't remember if we played with Dehumanized on that show, but we had played a bunch of shows there with them. But anyway, we knew this girl that lived there, and she would kind of get us around town, and we'd stay with her after the show. And she also was part owner of a bar. So we would go to the bar afterwards, and they'd lock the door. And one night it was 2, 3 in the morning or whatever, and there was this girl tending the bar, and she wasn't a particularly attractive girl, but she was just on the bar dancing, like taking her clothes off, and she like got her shirt off and she had her bra on, and she like started pulling her pants down, and she had these big granny panties on, and next thing you know, you just see her eyes get big, and she does this thing and just falls off and hits the bottles and the cash registers and hits the ground. And this old dude that was sitting at the bar that was totally just eyeing her up the whole time, he stands up over the bar and he goes, "So are we gonna see your tits or what?" Yeah, that was pretty funny.
What musical gear do you use when recording the new Dead Earth album?
Well, that I don't know. I do have some of my own bass gear. I recently picked up a dark glass pedal I've been using, which I don't know if I'll run through that during the recording, or if we'll just do a DI and figure that part of it out later. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to be using, to be honest. I will be using my Solar guitars basses though.
Yes.
So
Sweetness. Since we're in the month of October, what is your favorite horror movie and why?
Man. I'm not the biggest horror movie guy, to be honest, but if I'm on the spot and I have to pick one, what was that? Do you remember a movie from, I don't know if it's from the 70s or in the 80s, was it called The Omen?
Yeah.
Of course.
Damien. I remember being a kid, and I don't remember a lot of the specifics about that movie, but I remember it freaked me the fuck out. Because I was young, and it scared the shit out of me. And Was there a part in that movie where somebody fell onto the top of a spiked fence or something?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, the rod came down through and killed the priest.
It was
Ah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie's scary.
I knew it was something like that, but yeah, that freaked me out when I was a kid.
Do you like rom-coms? Is that your choice of genre?
I don't even know what that is.
Romantic comedy.
Oh, no, I'm not real big on those.
No.
Got a bonus question to ask you. What do you tell the fans what to expect from the new Dead Earth album?
Well, I think there's going to be a variety of different things, but one thing I know is it's going to be in their face. Jack's going to be yelling in your face, and I think the music's going to be a little bit of a journey. It's going to be some thrash, maybe a little bit of black metal, definitely some hardcore influence. So it's going to be a variety of things, but I think it all comes together really well, and I think it's going to be good.
Awesome. Well, that wraps it up then. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
When there's no justice, there's no peace. People marching in the streets.